We are days away from what should be the best event of 2025. UFC 322 is a stacked fight card. We have two super fights where champions are moving up a division to get a second title. We have a litany of fights that matter for their divisions with more than one number one contender matchups. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to break down the entire UFC 322 fight card, giving you my picks, predictions, and bets. But it's not just UFC 322 that we have to look forward to. On the horizon, we have UFC 323. We have UFC Qatar. We have a bunch of fights left in this year. The end of the ESPN era is coming. But before we get to that finish line, before we move over to CBS and Paramount for the free events, we still have a couple of monster cards to close out the year. If you want to unlock every pick, every bet, every tool that we offer, go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. It's $10 for an entire month, and that month will get you UFC 322, UFC 323, UFC Qatar, and the fight night that closes out the year. We just smacked UFC Vegas 111 around. The safety parlays on a nice little win streak. Let's ride that wave through the rest of the year. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. It's freaking $10. It's $10. I dare you to pull up a fast food combo meal that's less than 10. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. We're going to open up this card with a brand new fight. This was just added. I had this video recorded already. And then I came in this morning and I looked at it and I said, Viacheslav Borshchev versus Matheus Camilo. Well, I got to break that down. So here we are. I opened up this video saying that UFC 322 is the best fight card of the year. And while memory is short term and maybe I'm forgetting a couple of the early 2025 pay-per-views, I stand by that statement. This is a stacked fight card. Even fights like this. Does this matter for any division? No, this means less than nothing. But this should be a really fun matchup, and we should open up this card, if the fight order stays the same, with the finish. We got Viacheslav Borshchev. This guy's a fantastic striker. He has a legitimate professional kickboxing career before he transitioned to MMA. He does what you would expect a former professional kickboxer to do. He's got a solid jab, good power, fantastic kicks. Problem is, he's got a low takedown defense of 42%. He has been taken down 31 times in his 9 UFC fight career. And he most recently was taken down and almost instantly submitted by Terrence McKinney in his last fight, where he didn't even last a full minute. I last more than a minute. You can ask my wife. She'll vouch. Ask her. How long does Angelo last? She'll be like, I can't count that high. She's a kept woman. Then we have Matheus Camilo on the other side of that cage. This guy's an aggressive guy. Actually, first of all, let me back up. He was supposed to fight at UFC 321. That was canceled, and now here he is. This is a short notice fight for both of them, but Matheus Camilo is an aggressive guy. He can strike, he can grapple. He's got plenty of power, plenty of cardio. He's got a good chin, a whole bag full of submissions. He's going to plot forward, let his hands fly. He will embrace the chaos. He's going to get a fight to the ground. The problem is, once he gets to the ground, he's still chaotic there. He will chase submissions. That's actually how he lost his last fight. He looked good early. He was having success. He chased the submission, slipped off, and ultimately found himself getting subbed. I think we're good here, though. I think these odds are a gift because at this point, I can feel comfortable saying Viacheslav is full washed. And not that he was ever like really good. His UFC record is 4-5-1. But we have seen flashes of incredible striking and potential. Despite being at Team Alpha Male, he's never learned some takedown defense. Team Alpha Male is the little guy wrestling gym, and he's a little guy at the little guy wrestling gym, still can't defend any meaningful amount of takedowns. He's a little older now. He's a little chinny now. No real viability in this division. This is sort of short notice for both of these guys, but I'm going to lean Camilo here. I'm pretty confident in that pick. I actually put a half a unit bet on him at these minus 155 odds. The only reason it's not a full unit or more is because it is short notice. And Camilo is all gas, no brakes, and God forbid this guy gets a little tired, but Camilo should dominate this fight, and we should be good. Then we move on to Chepe Mariscal taking on Pat Sabatini. This is another really fun fight. Chepe's got a nice little win streak here, so this one does kind of matter for the division. Chepe Mariscal is an impressive guy on paper. He's got a BJJ title, a kickboxing championship. He was a collegiate wrestler. In the octagon, he's got good striking. He is willing to engage in a firefight. His takedowns are solid. When he needs them, he gets after it. He's an unbelievable dog. Not dog like underdog, because he's a slight favorite here, but a dog. He will get into an absolute scrap. He is not afraid to get after it. He's not afraid to get in your face. And when things get tough, he will just continue to move forward. He's not very dangerous, but he has insane pressure. He is unrelenting, and he can break a lot of people. He is coming off his 5th UFC win, and that one was a one-sided decision over Ricardo Ramos. He's taking on Pat Sabatini. Pat's a dangerous grappler. He's got very good wrestling, good solid pressure on top. His grappling is incredible. He is always live for a submission. The striking's there. It's more technical than anything, meaning he's got the 1-2s. His hands are where they're supposed to be, but it's a little stiff. He doesn't flow very fluidly, and a bit chinny. He is averaging almost 4 takedowns per fight and 2 significant strikes, which means if this guy's not striking very often, he is immediately looking to grapple. He's coming off that decisive win over Joanderson Brito, where he had 4 takedowns and 14 minutes of control in a 15-minute fight. That dude threw 0 punches whatsoever. Chepe's a dog. I don't know how he loses this fight. This line, -113, seems like incredible value to me. I think he's the better striker. He's certainly going to be the better scrambler. I think he's the better wrestler. And as long as he avoids some submission chaos, he's going to be totally fine here. He's going to keep moving forward the entire time. He's going to keep the pressure up. Obviously, Pat is decent. But I think Chepe is going to win this fight. Not only do I think he's going to win, I threw a bet on him at -113 because I have a feeling that this is going to be the fight where the line completely expands as we get closer to this event. Come Saturday, there's no way Chepe is only a -113. There's no way. He's got very good wrestling. He will move forward. He will stay in your face. He will grind. Pat obviously is a dangerous grappler. And Pat might shoot the takedowns first, but I trust Chepe's scramble skills and his takedown defense, and obviously his jiu-jitsu defense as well. Chepe's the pick. And right off the rip, we've got a pretty affordable money line. Then we have Malcolm Wellmaker taking on Cody Haddon. This is a somewhat new matchup on this card. That's why we don't have odds yet. By the time you're watching this, we probably have odds, and I would assume Malcolm's a tremendous favorite. But as of right now, no odds. We got Malcolm Wellmaker, a powerful striker, great accuracy, good timing. He does a really nice job managing range. He's got a solid jab, and then he will fire away. He's not overly aggressive. You're going to look at all the knockouts he has. He's not wildly aggressive. He's just finding those spots. He has incredible counters. When people get a little too aggressive, he fires away. He can also grapple. He's got some solid takedowns. We haven't seen it in the UFC, but he's got solid takedowns, even better takedown defense. He is coming off that knockout win over the human punching bag that is Chris Motino. He's taking on Cody Haddon. This guy's a pretty good prospect. His only loss comes to former title challenger Steve Erceg, who I think is a little overrated, but you guys seem to love him. He's a busy fighter. He sets an insane pace. He doesn't really slow down. He's got clean boxing. He'll throw in combinations. Does a really good job working your body. He's also a slick grappler. He's busy on top and bottom. If you take him down, he's throwing things up. If he takes you down, he's looking for position. He's hammering. He's trying to find a sub. He does a good job creating scrambles. He does a good job making things happen, working so his opponents cannot settle. He is coming off that decision win over Dan Argueta, where his combinations look good, and he stayed composed. For a dude in his UFC debut who only has 9 fights, fighting arguably a pretty solid UFC guy in Dan Argueta, he had no panic moments. He didn't stress out. He just did what he was supposed to do, and he looked pretty good. And I want to be very clear here. Cody Haddon is not Chris Motino. Cody Haddon is actually a solid fighter. He was able to defend 20. I didn't say that wrong. I don't have some weird accent. I can read numbers. 20. He defended 20 of Dan Argueta's takedowns. He got 2 of his own. He landed almost 100 more significant strikes than Dan Argueta landed in that fight. He is a solid prospect. I have no frame of reference whatsoever to justify whatever Malcolm Wellmaker's outrageous price tag is going to be on this fight. I don't have odds yet. I promise you, Malcolm will not be affordable. I can guarantee that. But I have to assume that Malcolm's power, his athleticism, I have to assume the hype is real. I haven't seen enough to say it's not. I have only seen Malcolm do really, really well. So let's just assume he is who they're telling us he is. I'm also going to assume that Cody Haddon is very good because I've seen him with my own eyes be good. So I'm going to pick Malcolm here. I'm not touching this fight unless I'm dead wrong and Malcolm is somehow a dog and these odds are nowhere near where I think they're going to be. I can't touch this fight. You don't need to bet every fight. We have 13 fights on this card. We've got some really good betting opportunities. These are two young, unproven guys. Don't bet on Malcolm Wellmaker, then go crying in the comments that he blew 25 of your parlays. He's probably going to win this fight. I'm picking him. But Cody Haddon's pretty good. And all you Aussies and New Zealanders, you guys are the most homer crowd I've ever seen. Brazilians don't always just blindly pick every Brazilian. Mexicans don't pick every Mexican. Every person from New Zealand or Australia is 1,000% convinced that every one of their fighters will win their next fight. I'm sure of it. We got 2 New Zealanders on staff. And those are I'm telling you right now, I can almost guarantee Betsam and Artem are going to pick Cody here. I can almost guarantee it. It's the blind loyalty. I appreciate it. You got to love your country, but Jesus, he's good. We can take this fight off. Then we have Roman Kopylov with his perm taking on Gregory Rodrigues with his bald. I mean, we have opposite hairstyles going on in this fight, and maybe that matters. Maybe we're onto something. Let's see. Let's see if hair beats no hair, or if no hair beats hair, because people who lose their hair at a surprisingly young age have more testosterone. I don't know if you know that. That is an actual fact. That's also why when you start doing the steroids, or a lot of these TRT people, the hair starts flying out because you're jacking up your testosterone. It's pushing it out of your head. There's nowhere to go. So low T, Roman Kopylov, great kickboxer. Professional kickboxing experience. He picks his shots pretty well. He settles in. He weaves together really nice combinations. His UFC record's not great. He's 6-4, but for the most part, he's beating everybody who couldn't take him down. That was not entirely true, though, in his last fight, because Paulo Costa just walked him down, outstruck him, stayed in his face, was huge. Paulo Costa reminded people that he's still a top middleweight in the world. He's taking on Gregory Rodrigues, well-rounded guy, very high testosterone. The striking is there. The power is there. He's a BJJ black belt. And even though he has that BJJ black belt, and even though he's more than capable on the ground, he actually will strike more often than not. The takedown defense is good, and he used that to keep it on his feet. He's a big guy. He's got power. He's got strength. He's a threat everywhere. He is coming off that big KO win over Jack Hermanson, where he was just bloodied up for no reason whatsoever. And Gregory is not the better striker. He's obviously have tremendous power, all that shit. He's not the better striker. He might hit harder, but technique-wise, certainly not the better guy here. He's also, though, the much better grappler. Should be a pretty straightforward win for Rodrigues. I think this looks like how Gregory Rodrigues beat Christian Leroy Duncan. Just shot takedown after takedown. Clearly the better grappler. Used his grappling skills. He's not afraid to strike. He's not useless on the feet, and he has his own power. So Roman can't just sleep on the feet, and he's going to have to worry about the takedowns. I think Gregory Rodrigues makes this a mind fuck of a fight for Roman. Sorry, kid show. Kid show. My bad. Kid show. Gregory Rodrigues makes this a very tricky fight for Roman Kopylov because he's going to alternate between takedowns and he's going to bomb away, and Roman's got to worry about everything. And I do think Gregory wins this fight. I don't hate this price tag. My one and only concern is the random bloodiness from Gregory. And if Roman pops off a couple of jabs and Greg's a little bloody for no reason, he bleeds very easily. Maybe the judges care about that, but I think we're good. He's going to get the takedowns. If this was in Las Vegas, I might worry about it a little more, but we're in New York. While a lot of the judges everywhere are not supposed to care about wrestling, the athletic commissions that don't have big fights almost every weekend tend to be a little old school in the scoring. So I think Greg's takedowns will be enough. It's also weird calling the guy Greg. It's weird calling him Greg or Gregory. He doesn't look like either one. Look at this guy. What is he? If I say names that I think he should be, I'm going to get fucking hate for no reason. So I'm not going to do that. He does not look like a Greg. Greg is like the accountant. Or Gregory. Gregory's the kid who tucks his shirt in. Gregory's the kid who pulls his pants all the way down to his ankles to piss at a urinal. That's Gregory. This is not a Gregory. This is not a Gregory. And I know he's Brazilian. He doesn't look Brazilian either. He's not a Gregory. Man, there's so many names I want to say, and I'm not going to say them because things aren't going to go well for me if I do. Guys, what will go well for you is if you head on over to this URL. We have affiliate links on the website. You use the affiliate link, you sign up, you make a deposit, and we will send you $50 as a thank you. It's affiliate marketing. You use the link. Then they say, hey, Ange, thanks for the customer. Here's a couple of bucks. I slice off a couple of those bucks, and I give it right back to you. It's a win-win. It's a winning triangle. They win, they got a customer. I win, I got a couple of dollars. And you win because you got a couple of dollars. Go to the URL, use the link, sign up, make a deposit, get yourself paid. You got to use the link all the time. Hey, I used your promo code. What code? I don't have a code. What code did you just make up? Use the link. Check it out. Then we have Bo Nickal. Shockingly early on this fight card. Shockingly early. He was the belle of the ball. He was the UFC's ginger hero. They had him on main cards of giant pay-per-views. Then he gets smoked by Renier de Rider, and now they said, let's bury the shit out of him on a prelim and see what happens. We got Bo Nickal taking on Rodolfo Vieira. Bo Nickal, famously a 3-time Division I national champion, multiple national championships, a world championship in there as well. He's obviously an incredible wrestler. He has transitioned to MMA. He's taken the wrestling skills to the octagon. That's what he's looking to do. The style is pretty obvious. He's going to come forward and look to get this to the ground. He is early in his MMA career. He only has 8 fights. The fact that he was on pay-per-view main cards was obviously a little more hype than substance, but he's a high-level athlete, and the UFC is better than anybody at convincing you that fighters are outworldly. Ungodly's not it. Otherworldly? Is that what we're looking for? The UFC does a good job pretending decent people are amazing, is where we're going with this. They've done it time and time again. They did it here. Bo Nickal, though, very accomplished wrestler. The striking's improving as well. We saw that in the Paul Craig win. What we saw in his last fight is a couple of things. One, he got the takedown against RDR. Looked pretty good. RDR created a scramble. Bo Nickal jumped guillotine like an idiot. And some people say he sucks. I say he's a little too cocky. I think he jumped guillotine because he thought he would get it. He just thinks he's a little better than he is. RDR, high-level grappler, pops out of that, beats Bo up a little bit. Then we get to the second round. Now Bo's a little beat up. The first time he's ever seen adversity. And he's got the biggest middleweight in the world coming right at him. He folded to that pressure and he lost. He's taking on Rodolfo Vieira. Rodolfo Vieira is a freak athlete. He has incredible BJJ, world-level BJJ. He has more than one international title. He's incredibly explosive. He's got takedown attempts. He runs right through you. He'll shoot a clean double. The technique can get the best of him on the wrestling side, but the reality is Rodolfo Vieira is big. He's strong. He's athletic. He's got very good jiu-jitsu. On the ground, he can have success. On the feet, he has success as well. He beat Chris Curtis in a striking match, and Chris is supposed to be one of the better strikers in the UFC. Rodolfo Vieira is pretty good everywhere. The reality is not great anywhere. Bo Nickal's hype train is far off the rails. This guy opened at a plus 120. He was the underdog. The line quickly got steamed, but he is not who he used to be. He obviously was very quickly bet to the favorite here, and I want to make sure I'm clear. I think the opening odds were more accurate than these odds. I think he's closer to an underdog than he is a 2-1 favorite in this matchup, and I am not Bo sucks, he always sucked. I'm not jumping off the hype train. I'm looking at this fight objectively. Bo Nickal is a high-level wrestler, obviously, a 3-time national champion, a Hodge Trophy winner. The Hodge Trophy is for the best wrestler in the country. So not only did he win a national championship, they said, of all the national champions, you're the best one. You're the best wrestler this country has right now. And he did all of those things, and it's wildly impressive what he has done. But we just saw that he doesn't make the best decisions in fights. Jumping guillotine against somebody as dangerous as RDR is what cost him that fight. If he stayed safe, if he threw strikes on top, if he worried about the positions, he could have won that fight. Instead, he chased. He ended up in a bad position. He left that round deflated, went to the next round, and that was kind of it. We saw RDR quit on the stool. Things are not great to be Bo Nickal right now. What is good, though, is the fact that the hype is gone may benefit him here. His ego seems to be back down to reality. Bo Nickal seems to be far closer to a normal person. Obviously, many world-class fighters are insanely confident. They think they can do anything. Bo Nickal was going on and on. I'm going to out-wrestle Chimaev. I'm going to win a world title. Now he's like, well, I didn't say I'd beat Chimaev in a fight. I said I could out-wrestle him in a wrestling match. He started to change his tune, and I actually love that. Because a humble Bo Nickal, a Bo Nickal that doesn't think he's just going to run through people, is somebody that can evolve. He can learn. He's only 29 years old. I'm going to pick Bo here because I think what he's going to do is play it safe. He's coming off his first MMA loss. I think he will get the takedowns. I think he will stay safe on top. I don't think Rodolfo's going to be able to out-scramble him off his back. I don't think he's going to be able to create chaos. Bo Nickal won his national championships with his scramble skills. He's not a Jordan Burroughs. Go Google Jordan Burroughs double leg. That guy shoots right through you. He will run you through a brick wall. That is not how Bo Nickal wrestled. Lots of trips, lots of scrambles. He didn't have like beautiful double leg right up the middle. And that, while a beautiful double leg is more beneficial on the feet in MMA, let's look at Jalton Almeida. On the ground, in the grappling exchanges, the scramble skills Bo Nickal has, second to none. So I think he wins this fight. I don't think I'm going to touch these minus 220 odds, though. And I also think this is going to be a boring-ass fight. I do not think this will be fun. I don't think Bo's going to get an early finish. I think he's going to play it safe, get himself a decision win, get back in the win column, because winning is the most important thing in the world, and he knows that. He's a high-level athlete. Then we have Gerald Meerschaert, who looks like the soul has left his... Look at this guy's eyes. Tell me this guy has a zest for life. Does this look like somebody who enjoys anything? Look at this guy's eyes. He looks like Garfield. Those eyes say Garfield was just told there's no more spaghetti. That's what we've got with Gerald Meerschaert. This poor bastard. There's no joy left in this guy's life. What is happening, Gerald? Damn. Anyway, what looks like retired fireman Gerald Meerschaert is taking on cop Kyle Daukaus. Kyle's an actual cop. That's not even a looks thing. This dude's a cop. Kyle Daukaus. Gerald Meerschaert, good grappler. Always live for his submission. He's not great on the feet. People do question his chin, but he's tough. He's not going to quit on himself. His body might quit on him, but he's not going to quit. He's an incredibly talented grappler, but like a ton of other talented grapplers, he has no ability to get fights to the ground. His offensive wrestling sucks, even though he averages about 2 takedowns per fight, or 3. And I mean, they're not very good. He's got a low 30% takedown accuracy. Gerald Meerschaert is a guy that hasn't taken anyone down in 3 fights. He's coming off that knockout loss to Michal Oleksichuk. He's taking on Kyle Daukaus. Kyle Daukaus just made his long-anticipated UFC debut a little while ago. He was 2 years on the regional scene, and he made that UFC debut, or return, in spectacular fashion. Style-wise, he's an okay striker, pretty good grappler in his own right. He's got solid clinch work, okay boxing. He's got a weird build where he's very long. He uses that length pretty well. He is primarily a grappler. His takedown accuracy is only 25%. He has an impressive 82% takedown defense, though. He is very long, and he can use that length really well for him, but he is chinny. He's coming off that 43-second knockout win over Michel Pereira, which was like, what the hell? What the hell was that? And I wonder if Kyle Daukaus' last win will be investigated by the FBI in this fight-fixing scandal, because if not, it should be. He had absolutely no business whatsoever beating Michel Pereira. Kyle is not very good. He's definitely good enough to beat Gerald. He's going to be the pick. Gerald is somehow a fan favorite. I could already see the GM3 by sub comments. What's the over-under on GM3 by sub comments on this video? 20? 20 might be low. 20 might be low. The over is probably solid there. People love betting Gerald Meerschaert by sub. It's not going to happen. Kyle Daukaus is actually a good grappler. I think he's a black belt. Kyle Daukaus is long, he's rangy, and in order to sub somebody, you need to be able to take him down. That's not Gerald Meerschaert. Kyle should be able to outstrike Gerald here, defend whatever subpar takedowns come his way. The BJJ is good enough to not get subbed in his own right. Kyle's going to be the pick, but I hate that this dude could even be in the same room as these odds. What world is Kyle Daukaus a 325 favorite? And maybe on the regional scene, this guy just got bit by a spider and came back good. I think his UFC win over Michel Pereira was more about Michel going through a divorce and God knows what else than Kyle being nasty. Then we have Angela Hill taking on Fatima Kline. Fatima. Angela Hill, high IQ veteran, mostly a striker. She's got good speed, good volume, very versatile. She doesn't have a lot of power. She is a talented fighter, though. She became sort of the gatekeeper here at 40 years old. They're like, here's a prospect. Let's see how you do. Let's see if this prospect's any good, and we're going to use you to find out. And she's doing that role pretty well. She's beating some of them. She's losing to a few. She's playing that role perfectly. Every single Angela Hill fight is exactly the same, and not in a bad way. You know you're going to get somebody in great shape. You know you're going to get somebody that has solid skills, high fight IQ, and will fight to win. That's what you get with Angela Hill. She is coming off that loss to Eisman Lucindo, where she was, I think, the better fighter, but the relentless pressure from a 23-year-old was just a little bit too much for her to overcome. She's taking on Fatima Kline, a pressure grappler. She's very dangerous on the ground. She's got a loose striking style. It's actually kind of awkward. Her build is a little awkward, but she uses that awkward build and her length really well. She closes distance, she fires right hands, and she works in takedowns. On the ground, she immediately starts working with strikes, and the second you cover up or turn your hips, she tries to sneak into submission. She's got plenty of cardio, big takedowns. Now, solid power. She just knocked the head off of Melissa Martinez. I don't love these odds. Not for Fatima. I get that Fatima's coming off a very impressive win, but what is being lost in the shadow of the head kick were her trash-ass takedown attempts. Sure, she has 2 UFC wins, but neither one of those women have a job with the UFC. Both of Fatima's wins are over women who have been cut. Angela Hill is 40, but she is better than every single person Fatima has beat, both on the regional scene and the ones that got fired by the UFC. And I really want to pick Fatima here because I don't think her takedowns are going to be good enough. I don't think her striking is like technically better than Angela. She obviously has massive power. That lurchy style of hers can work at range. But screw it. I'm going with Angela Hill. And I'm a coward. I'm a sissy. I got a vasectomy 2 years ago. I think they took too much out. So I don't really have the nuts to bet on Angela. But I might do a plus 3.5. If she's a plus 310 dog and Fatima has a couple of finishes, we might get lucky with a plus 3.5 bet not being minus 300. But I think Angela Hill's a little too durable, a little too fast, a little too clean. I think some shit takedown attempts from Fatima aren't going to be enough. I think Angela Hill can win this fight. So I'm going to pick a 40-year-old, even though Fatima's fighting at home in New York. I get it. Maybe hindsight, this is going to be the worst pick I've ever made. But I think Fatima's a little overrated, guys. Just a hair. We'll find out. Then we have Baisangur Susurkaev. Not even close. Taking on Eric McConico. Another new fight to this card, and stepping up on somewhat short notice is not very new to Susurkaev. Damn it. 0 for 2. Baisangur, what's crazy is when I do the tape study and I watch, I have the pronunciation perfect in my head because I just heard it. Then I sit here to do the video and my tongue is 5 times too big for my mouth and I just start saying shit. Baisangur Susurkaev. Exciting fighter, though. You can't say his name, but it doesn't matter because you look at him, you're like, that dude's fun to watch. He showcased the excitingness in his Contender Series fight. Then again, in his insanely quick turnaround at UFC 319, this dude did a 5-day turnaround. Fought on a Tuesday, fought on a Saturday. It was crazy. Both of those were spectacular fights. He's a dangerous striker. He's got power everywhere, flashy technique. He'll jump, he'll spin, he'll land comfortably. Takedown defense seems solid. The confidence is insane. This guy believes in himself. And I mentioned he's coming off that 5-day turnaround from the Contender Series to UFC 319, where he submitted a pretty solid Eric Nolan. He's taking on Eric McConico. Solid grappler, pretty comfortable striking, but ultimately this guy's looking to close the distance, grind fights to the ground. And even though he does want fights on the ground, he doesn't force them there. Many times he's going to catch a kick or maybe sneak in a trip. He's not rushing forward. He's not taking like big, long shots. When fights do get to the ground, he does a really good job passing through positions, finding control. He doesn't get chaotic. He doesn't chase subs. He keeps you there. He settles in, and then he looks for something. He is coming off that decision win over Cody Brundage where he blasted Cody early, but then he got pretty sloppy as that fight went on. We don't have odds yet. There are no odds for this fight, but I would not be surprised if Baisangur is the biggest favorite on the card come Saturday. This seems like a gimme type fight. He's bigger, faster, cleaner, the better striker, the better wrestler. He's more dangerous. He is the pick, and unless he's a minus 1,000, I would expect to see some bets on him. Then we have future world champion Erin Blanchfield taking on Tracy Cortez. And I say future world champion because that's what you people say. Everybody has been convinced for a long time that Erin Blanchfield is a future world champion. And I get it. She's got some skills, but I think we saw in her loss to Manon Fiorot, she's not quite there. Erin Blanchfield's good, though. She's a nasty grappler. She comes forward, she throws punches for a minute or two, and then she starts looking for takedowns. She's young, only 26 years old. She's still cleaning things up. And up until that last fight, the fight that actually happened, People were calling her the next world champion. She averages around 6 significant strikes per minute, 2 takedowns per fight. She did bounce back from that man and loss with the win over former world champion Rose Namajunas. She had a couple of takedowns, 9 minutes of control. Then she was supposed to fight Maycee Barber in the main event. Maycee Barber had a seizure, and ultimately that fight didn't happen. Not Erin's fault. Would have been nice to see a second win, because this is going to be a tough fight. She's taking on Tracy Cortez. The eyelashes are fake, but the skills aren't. Tracy Cortez is a fantastic wrestler, a good grappler. She's listed as having a positive striking differential, but you need to keep in mind she doesn't strike very often. She's landing almost 4 significant strikes per minute. She's getting over 2 takedowns per 15 minutes. That's because she's getting takedowns and holding you there. 99% of the strikes are on the ground. She's not doing a ton of striking on the feet. The striking is technical. It is busy, but it's not powerful. The takedowns, however, are clean. And when she gets you to the ground, she's got great control. And despite having incredible BJJ, she's not very dangerous. She just relies on the wrestling, relies on the cardio, and relies on the BJJ for defense. She is coming off that bounce-back win over Viviane Araújo, where she had an easy takedown and just sort of grinded her way to a win. You guys know that Islam meme where they ask him who would win in a fight between him and a kangaroo, and he says, no one tests the kangaroo wrestling. He doesn't, that was a heavy Russian accent. He doesn't quite sound like that, but you get the point. That meme, no one tests kangaroos wrestling. That's kind of this fight. Erin is such a good grappler that outside of JJ Aldrich, who ended up getting submitted, nobody has tested the wrestling. She's the kangaroo in the meme. People are not testing Erin Blanchfield wrestling because they don't want to take her down, because they're worried about what will happen down there. Tracy will test the wrestling. Tracy's going to come forward. Tracy's going to shoot takedowns. And I really want to pick Tracy here because I think she can get the takedowns and her BJJ should be good enough to stay safe. But what I love and respect about Erin Blanchfield, who I do think is overrated, is she doesn't stop. She doesn't stop. Her takedowns legit suck, but she is tough. She doesn't stop looking for submissions. She doesn't stop coming forward. She doesn't stop striking. It doesn't matter what's happening. She will not stop. Manon Fiorot was beating the piss out of her. Clean, too. And she did not stop moving forward. She didn't stop trying to work. And those are intangibles that you can't get from anywhere. You can't teach somebody to be like that. She just is that way. This pick is somewhat similar to when I picked Caio Borralho to lose against Nasruddin Imavov. I like Caio. I like the wrestling. I like all that stuff, but it felt like he was on a world tour. Every single UFC event, it's like, here's Caio, here's Caio, here's Caio. And that's what Tracy Cortez is doing everywhere. Everywhere she goes, the eyelashes get faker and bigger, and she's cage side for every fight night, every pay-per-view. Her and Paulo Costa are yucking it up. She's everywhere. And if she's everywhere, maybe she's not in the gym. I'm going to pick Erin Blanchfield. Tracy could absolutely get the takedowns here and work. I don't think we have a finish. This might be another perfect plus 3.5 spot on the Tracy side. Over 2.5 is probably solid. Maybe we get lucky with a 1.5 because of how dangerous Erin is. This could be a grappler's delight. This could also set up the next title fight in this division. This is a very good fight that does matter very much. And that's how I gauge fights. Will it be fun? Doesn't matter. This checks both of those boxes. Before I move on to the next fight, do me a favor, download the app. We have an app. Just search We Want Picks in the App Store. It costs you nothing. You click download. It downloads. You open it. Boom. There's the app. Make sure push notifications are turned on, though, because when we place bets, when things happen, when fights get canceled, the last possible minute, we will push a notification to your device. This way you're prepared. You're ready to go. You don't need to be a premium member to have the app or to get the notifications. If you're premium, the notifications will lead you to the bets we just placed so you don't miss out on line movement. If you are not premium, you still may get important information like the boys are about to be live or this fight was canceled. Check your shit before the card starts. Search We Want Picks in the App Store. Download the app. It's 100% free. Inside of the app, you have access to everything the website offers, like the data analyzer. This is a tool that has every fighter on every card now and in the future. all their data, all their stats, all lined up between them and their opponent, and then you can filter your way down. You can use this for your research. You can use this to find prop bets. We have a fight simulator. This simulates every fight on the card 100,000 times. And throughout those 100,000 simulations, it's bringing in grappling stats, striking stats, it's bringing in FanDuel stats, it's bringing in all sorts of historical data, running the simulation and then telling you what happened in those simulations. This has been wildly helpful while doing over-unders on significant strike lines, takedown lines, and more. We have a line movement tracker. This will give you the opening odds, the current odds, the win probability, and the line movement for every fighter on every card. We have a prop hunter, a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. We have an optimizer. This is an optimizer that will build DraftKings lineups and FanDuel fantasy lineups. We have a tape index for those of you who like to do your own research, and I'm just one piece of the little puzzle that you put together before your weekend. Let us line it up for you. The UFC in about a month and a half is going to be on a completely different network. I don't know what's happening to the historical fights. Are they going to stay in Fight Pass? Will they be on ESPN? Are they going to move to Paramount? But the tape index will be updated, will be ready to go, so you don't have to go digging through the depths of internet hell to find historical fights to do your research. And all of that is available for $10. There's also 10 other things I didn't mention because these get too long and people bitch. Go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It's freaking $10 a month. 10 for a whole month. No tiers. There is no upsell. There's no cross-sell. There's no, hey, thanks for signing up for the bets. Do you want fantasy? No, all of it, one place, $10, WeWantPicks.com. Here's the 4 fight cards you will get for that month's access. UFC 322 and UFC 323, plus the Qatar fight, plus the last fight night of the year. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. We're going to open up the main card with a potential number 1 contender matchup at welterweight. Welterweight's the most stacked it's ever been right now. Period. End of story. This is the most stacked this division has ever been. Obviously, the main event is this division. So if Islam wins, maybe he fights the winner of this fight. If Islam loses, maybe JDM fights the winner of this fight. If it's a weird decision, if there's an maybe they run it back. I don't know, so I can't say for sure this is a number 1 contender matchup. But if it isn't, it's damn close. We got Sean Brady taking on Michael Morales. Sean Brady's a high-level grappler. He's got some power in his hands, but he was also TKO'd by Belal Muhammad. This guy plots forward. He throws bombs. He even will work in some random nonsense every now and then. But the reality is he is looking to shoot takedowns. He can be dangerous on the feet, but let's just eliminate all that trash and talk about the wrestling because he's going to move forward. He's going to shoot takedowns, and he's got incredible grappling on the ground. He has phenomenal control. He's got good submissions. He's averaging almost 4 takedowns per fight. He's coming off that very dominant win over former world champion Leon Edwards. He's taking on Michael Morales. This guy's a savage. His resume is some of the best you've seen in MMA. He's a freestyle wrestling national champion, a Muay Thai national champion. He's got the best striking, the best grappling base for this sport. He's also wildly athletic, and he's high IQ. He doesn't take any weird chances. He does all the right things. The footwork's fantastic. He's got a great jab, loose boxing. That allows him to work in and out really, really well. His takedowns are clean. There are more throws than anything. He's a freestyle national champion, but he wrestles almost Greco-ish. He's coming off that win over the soon-to-be retired Gilbert Burns. This is a great matchup. This kicks off what should be a great main card, and I've been saying for a while, potentially the best main card of the year. I have to imagine that the winner here will get the next title shot because, Ian Gary's doing some good stuff, and maybe he smokes Belal, but these two have been grinding. They have been winning. They've got put together quality work in their last couple of fights. We definitely have a clash of styles, though, because while Morales is a national wrestling champion, he doesn't wrestle very often. The same cannot be said about Sean Brady. Outside of that dumpster fire that was the Belal Muhammad fight, Sean Brady has takedowns in every single matchup. And I think he comes right at Michael Morales. I think he's immediately in his face, immediately shooting takedowns, gives him no space whatsoever. And Morales needs space. He fights with space. He needs that distance to get the striking going, to find it comfortable. And I don't think that's going to happen here. Brady's going to be the pick. I'm hoping this line continues to tighten. Brady was a larger favorite, and it is inching its way closer. I hope this line continues to tighten. I like Sean Brady here. I will find a bet to place on him. And this is a genuine breakdown. This has nothing to do with all the zesty videos of Michael Morales like Slay Queen popping out. It has nothing to do with the cross-dressing video that everybody said, oh, no, this is an Ecuadorian thing. They're celebrating. What are they celebrating? Okay. Michael Morales, very talented fighter, very pretty in a dress. We have Beneil Dariush taking on Benoit Saint-Denis. This is another really fun fight, and this does kind of matter. I don't think it matters in the rankings of the division per se, and this is nowhere near somebody getting a title shot, but Beneil Dariush is a former title. He never actually fought for the title, but when he was on that 12-fight win streak, everybody's talking about he's the best guy on the planet. Benoit Saint-Denis, unbelievably tough, very gritty, just got a really good win over a high prospect. This fight's going to be fun, and it matters in that, is Beneil Dariush done, or is he still here doing something? Is Benoit actually a viable contender, or did he just beat an overhyped Mauricio Ruffy? Beneil Dariush is very good everywhere. He's got good power in his hands. He's got good control. He averages almost 2 takedowns per fight. He's a BJJ no-gi world champion, and we have seen him shine in the scrambling. I've seen him beat people with grappling, like when he beat Tony Ferguson before he sucked, Diego Ferreira. We've seen him outstrike people like Scott Holtzman, James Vick. He is one of the best scramblers in the sport, certainly in this division. He is, however, a little old. He's starting to age out. He's coming off that sloppy win over Renato Moicano, where he was also a dog. He's taking on Benoit Saint-Denis. Strong wrestler. He's got well-timed shots, tons of pressure on top. He has 10 fights in the UFC with 24 takedowns. And that is impressive considering he has only seen a third round 2 times. Nope, 1 time. In his entire UFC career, he has only seen 1 third round, and he has still put together 24 takedowns because he moves forward and just absolutely gets after it. When he gets to the ground, he's got very good pressure. He works his submissions really well. He's got a ton of power in his feet. That does make him dangerous everywhere, but he can be hittable. He's all gas, no breaks. He has no quit whatsoever. He is coming off that underdog win over Mauricio Ruffy, where he was hittable, but the nonstop wrestling was enough to get it done. I wish this fight was a few years ago, and I would put my life savings on Beneil Dariush if it was. Dariush, a few years ago, different guy. When I tell you he's the best scrambler this division has ever had, I am saying that with 100% conviction. Go back and watch him versus Gamrot. His ability to scramble out of very deep entries is insane. With BSD being as hittable as he is and a wrestle-heavy guy, it is not insane to think that Beneil will out-scramble him and then touch him up. He'll end up on top, rain down strikes. In theory, a few years ago, before Beneil was a little sloppy, he could out-scramble Benoit, end up on top, rain down strikes, and finish him the exact same way Renato Moicano did. The problem is he is starting to look his age. He's only 36. He looks 56. He would be the best-looking dad in a neighborhood. He's a great-looking guy, but he's had salt and pepper hair since he was like 22. I really want to pick him here. I picked him against Renato. But when I picked him against Renato, my breakdown was Beneil's a very good fighter, and Renato is too busy trying to be famous, doing podcasts, doing everything other than training to fight. And that is what that looked like. Renato was sloppy. Renato was slowing down. But now we got Beneil taking on a former special forces guy who will be well-trained, who will not slow down, who will stay in his face. Beneil was just as sloppy as Moicano was in that fight, so I have to go with Benoit. I think good old-fashioned grit will beat just technique. Benoit, I think, is the better, more skilled fighter, but he's a dad. He's trying to get a Tesla. He looks like he drives a minivan. Benoit Saint-Denis is going to sling blade that ridiculous face. He looks like he has no teeth. He's going to come forward, get in Beneil's face. He is going to win this fight, but damn it, we all missed out on a Benoit or a Beneil title fight when he was injured constantly after what was that unbelievable win streak before he got smoked by a couple of dudes. But rooting for Beneil, picking Benoit. Then we have Leon Edwards taking on Carlos Prates. And this is a fun fight. And before everybody just jumps on the Leon is washed, Leon freezes, Leon sucks, let me remind you that some of that is true, but his last 2 losses were to wrestlers. Carlos Prates is the exact opposite of a wrestler. Leon Edwards is a very good fighter. He is well-rounded, but he's mostly a striker. He's got great body kicks, great boxing. He does offer some offensive wrestling, but for the most part, a very, very good striker. He was able to take down Nate Diaz, Kamaru Usman, and Colby Covington. And that's because he's got raw talent and he's wildly athletic. He has been on the wrong side of two dominant wrestling performances. The first was that title loss that set him back. And then the next was the last fight where he was just absolutely ragdolled at home and showed no signs of life. But again, those are people getting in his face looking to take him down. That is not what Carlos Prates is going to do. This guy is a dangerous striker. He has incredible power. He's got great range control. He's pretty light in his feet. He manages to throw kicks to any part of your body, wherever he wants. He'll throw spinning attacks. He'll defend most takedowns that come his way. The power, the accuracy, all of that is insane. The cardio is not bad either for a guy who smokes and drinks very often. He is coming off the KO win over Jeffrey Neal. That was just very, like, bang. That dude was done. Very typical Carlos Prates fight. Leon, unfortunately, has to be a top 5 fall from grace. He went from one of the best title fight comebacks we have ever seen to getting subbed in a fight night main event. But despite the recent performances, the reality is that those losses were to wrestlers, and Carlos Prates is not a wrestler. It is very possible Leon gets back to his roots, puts on a striking clinic. It's also possible he gets absolutely dismantled because even though he won the title off pure heart, he has been the Tin Man as of late. I think Carlos is going to win here. I'm very excited for this fight. I'm going to pick Carlos Prates. Leon Edwards needs to go find that heart. He needs the Wizard of Oz. Find himself a little Dorothy. Go get himself a scarecrow. Find a lion. Walk your way through whatever the hell that was. Find the Oz and get your heart back because Leon Edwards, he's not an RDR level quitter, but he has shown no heart whatsoever. And Carlos Prates is going to, if you're not ready to go to war, Carlos Prates will find what he needs to find. Then we have the mailbox. If you want to send something for a vlog, right? Vlogs are filmed for pay-per-view events. UFC 322 is a pay-per-view. UFC 323 is a pay-per-view. If you want to send a letter to the boys, we will read the letter. If you want to send something for us to open, send it to We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406, Prosper, Texas, 75078. You have a small business to promote? I am happy to do that for you. Use us. Promote your business. You help us by watching. I'll help you by shouting out whatever the hell it is you're selling or doing. Send it to We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406, Prosper, Texas, 75078. Then we have the first of 2 super fights. We have Weili Zhang going up in division to fight Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina Shevchenko, the long-standing world champion at this weight class. And that's what makes this a super fight. When you get 2 division champions colliding, you have a super fight, and that's exactly what this is. Valentina Shevchenko, one of the best fighters on the planet, one of the greatest champions we have seen. She won the belt in 2018. She defended it 7 times. Then she lost it a couple of years ago just to defy the odds and win it back late in her career. She is 36 years old. She's a phenomenal striker, a very good grappler. She has true championship composure, true champion mindset. Her striking is some of the best in the division. She's technical. She has enough power to give people a hard time, and she combines all of that with solid offensive wrestling. The last few years, we have seen her use the judo, use the takedowns, use the wrestling. She has 39 takedowns in her last 9 fights, including 2 in her last one, which was a title defense win over Manon Fiorot. She's taking on Weili Zhang, the 7-time strawweight champion of the world. She's a striker who has evolved into a true mixed martial artist. She's got very real power in her hands. She lands an impressive almost 6 significant strikes per minute. She has added wrestling as well. She has 26 takedowns in her UFC career. She is coming off the title defense over Tatiana Suarez, where she outclassed Tatiana everywhere. She out-wrestled her, she out-scrambled her, she out-striked her, she outclassed Tatiana in every aspect of MMA. This is the first of 2 super fights on this card, arguably the more impactful one, because both of these women are their division's GOAT. Weili is the strawweight GOAT. Valentina is the flyweight GOAT. They are both their division's GOAT, and now they're fighting each other, and we could argue the winner of this is the true GOAT, more so than Amanda Nunes. Probably not, but at least it's an argument to be had. My gut and my brain are split here because they're both high-level strikers. They both added wrestling. My gut, which Honestly, it's very flat, solid. You see me at a beach, you go, damn, dude, you look great. My gut is saying Valentina wins. She's slightly bigger, nothing crazy, but she's slightly bigger, a little cleaner of striker. We know that she's durable. My brain, however, great brain, Connecticut public school education, top 3 public schools in the country. The brain is saying Weili is the better athlete. And despite being around the same age, neither one of them are very young, neither one of them are very old. Despite being around the same age, I think she's going to be a little faster, a little cleaner. Valentina isn't who she used to be. And I keep flip-flopping on this pick, but looking at it, going back to the tape study, I am going to slightly lean Weili here. I think the wrestling is going to be the difference. And Weili's wrestling, to me, is better than Valentina's. Valentina relies on the striking to set up the wrestling. And she bully takedowns. Weili will shoot a beautiful, clean double right up the middle. And Valentina off her back is a very different situation than her bullying little-ass Alexa Grasso. Weili Zhang's going to be the pick. This is a very, very good fight. And that takes us right to the second super fight of the card, the main event of the evening. We have Islam Makhachev vacating the lightweight belt to move up to welterweight to try to become a 2-division champion. But it's not going to be an easy fight because he's taking on Jack Della Maddalena, high-volume striker, great jab. This guy likes to plot forward on his toes. He'll pump that snappy jab out there. If you throw something back, he'll work out of the pocket, then come back in and start moving again. He's got good power. His nose is facing one direction. His eyes are going another, and he does not care. He will get after it. He will continue to move forward. He's got jiu-jitsu when he needs it. Nothing spectacular, but it is there. His takedown defense is solid. It sits at 69%. He did just defend 6 of Bilal Muhammad's takedowns, and he only gave up 3 minutes of control time in a 25-minute fight against primarily a wrestler. He's taking on the lightweight GOAT. Can we say lightweight GOAT for Islam? Have we agreed he's done more than Khabib has, or is he not? So we have the lightweight GOAT, an insane wrestler. Very good hands. His grappling is aggressive. He's always looking to advance, punish, or finish. He doesn't just camp out looking for a decision win. He averages more than 3 takedowns per fight. And you might think that's low. We've broken down people averaging 4, 5, 6 takedowns per fight. But Islam is taking you down and holding you down. Having a higher average doesn't necessarily mean you're good at wrestling. It means you might be letting people up a little too often, so you got to dive at their legs and take them back down. When Islam takes you down, there is insane control, and he will look for a finish. He's coming off that short notice switcheroo win over Renato Moicano back in January. Was that a gimme fight? Yes. Was it Islam's fault? No. He was supposed to fight Arman Sarukian, who faked a back injury. So then he got Renato Moicano on short notice and just beat the snot out of him. We're going to find out how much size matters, because both of these guys are very big for their weight classes. So despite Islam being a massive lightweight, and pretty well-sized for welterweight, he's still going to be the smaller fighter here because JDM is also massive for his weight class. We haven't seen Islam at 170 yet, so I can't really talk about his cardio. I can't talk about his speed. I don't know what translated, what didn't translate in the move up. What I can do, however, is look at their skills. JDM is a striker. He's got great scrambling. He's big. He uses hips well. Islam's a wrestler. He's got great grappling. I'm going to go with the wrestler here. I understand he's fighting a much larger guy. I understand the hips are really good on JDM. But I think the way that Islam enters and then immediately changes directions, this guy will hit your hips, pull. And when you adjust to that, he'll push, then he'll pull, he'll turn, he'll pull, he'll snap, and he'll run right through you. The amount of adjustments you have to make in a 10-second period is insane. And that's how Islam's getting people to the ground. Blocking the back leg, changing directions. He's doing so much that it's almost impossible to defend those takedowns. And certainly to defend the second one, and then the third one, and then the fourth one. So I think the relentless wrestling pressure from Islam is going to be enough. I think that's going to get him the win. I wish we have seen him at welterweight before, so I have some gauge of what his cardio will look like. I understand one narrative is, oh, he doesn't have to cut as much weight, so he's going to have better cardio. Well, the other narrative could be he put on weight, so he's carrying around more weight. And he's trying to move a heavier person, so he might actually get tired early. I think this is an absolute dogfight. I do not think this is a walk in the park. I think this is the toughest fight for Islam at this weight class. I think there are other 170-pounders that are far easier. I think this is an easier fight than Sean Brady. I think this is an easier fight than if he fought Michael Morales. I think it's an easier fight than Ian Gary. Tougher. I meant to say tougher for all of those. Let me back up. Tougher fight than if he fought Sean Brady. A tougher fight than if he fought Carlos Prates. A tougher fight if he fought Michael Morales. A tougher fight than if he fought Ian Gary. I think JDM is the toughest, I've corrected myself, the toughest fight for Islam at this weight because of how big he is, because his scrambling is good, because his hands are good, but I am still picking Islam, and he may go down as one of the most accomplished fighters we have ever seen. Guys, that is the breakdown. Do me a favor, click the subscribe button, please. I'm telling myself I'm going to get, before I die of a heart attack because of the way I live, before I die of a heart attack, do me a favor and click the subscribe button. Cost you nothing. Great way to support the boys. I want a freaking play button. So let's get one. I also want you to go to the website, wewantpicks.com, because on the website, we have set up the greatest offering in this space, the greatest tool set anybody has ever seen, the greatest set of tools and picks and bets that anybody could ever have access to heading into a fight week. One of those tools is the data analyzer. This will set you up with every single data point you could ever want or need. This will get you ready for the fights, and you can filter that data to find your spots and your opportunities. We have a fight simulator that not only will simulate the fights, it'll give you the individual statistics along the way, and then on top of it, it'll use those simulations to build DraftKings or FanDuel fantasy lineups for you. We have an optimizer that will build DraftKings or FanDuel fantasy lineups for you. We have a line movement tracker that will give you opening odds, current odds, win probability, and line movement for every fighter on every card. We have a prop hunter, a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. We have a tape index for those of you who like to do your own research. We have every fighter on every card now and in the future. You select the fighter, you get their full fight history. You click the little red play button, video pops up, you watch the video. And then we have more than just me. Yes, I've got the nicest voice on the team, probably the best personality. I'm definitely the tallest. But we've got other people. We got Jacob, we've got Artem, we've got Betsam, we have a robot. We have an artificial intelligence picking fights solely off of historical data. Check it all out now. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Guys, that is the breakdown of what should be the greatest event this year. But I have never been more excited to get to the next year. And I don't want to cruise past this event. I don't want to cruise past Qatar. I don't want to cruise past 323 because those are all very good fights. But I am so excited to see what the UFC and Paramount situation looks like. What will be a giant fight on CBS? What will the graphics on the screen be? What will the intros be? What will this look like? I am very excited. We haven't had something like this in 7 years. And I'm looking forward to it. It's a new era for our favorite sport. All of us, if you're watching this video, you care about this sport more than most. That's why you're even here doing research watching this. And now we're exposing our favorite sport, yours and mine, to many millions more people for free on CBS. This is a very exciting time to be a fight fan. I am looking forward to it. Thank you for being here. Good luck this weekend.